KWT slaying.
Salama family, Salama, how y'all doing today? Hope you're blessed and highly favored. Shabbat Shalom family, Shabbat Shalom. Minister Taylor.
Salama family, peace and blessings.
So family, the question is, where are we on this timeline? Because it's bad. It's bad. As the title would suggest, this isn't really a good news show, but it depends on your perspective. So we have shared a post at tailministries.com for those who know about it. And you should go check it out, right? It's called Massive Debts 2024. It's about a 2-minute read. You should go read this right here, Massive Debt 2024, and understand what's going on in this world. Nobody's talking about it. The media is not talking about it. There's little hints here and there. But if y'all remember, the Deagle report is coming to pass. Now, have you watched the show? What is a few years ago, I think, Mr. Tell you, we did the show on the Deagle report. What is it, about 3 years ago? I think it was 3 years
The
ago.
very first time, probably 3 years ago. And then you did another show, you brought it up.
Yeah, and if you know about the Deagle report, give me a 1. If you don't, give me a 2. Because there's a video we did out there about that. It might get you up to speed on what's really happening. And so when I say it's bad, it's bad. Now, Revelation 9:20-21 says, the rest of mankind who were not killed by these plagues still did not repent of the work of their hands. They did not stop worshiping demons and idols. That's your idols, your movie stars, all the things. And, it could be statues too, but gold, silver, bronze, the ones who follow and love Hollywood, right? Idols that cannot see or hear or walk, then that's the dumb idols. Nor did they repent of their murders, their magic arts, their sexual immorality. Now, this is important here. They didn't repent of their sexual immorality or their thefts. When I say, remember, I gave a warning. I said, we don't have no more time. It's over. Gentiles, you need to repent. Too late. It's over. We are here. We're here. Now, understand that when you go over to the tail.ministries.com website and read that article, you will understand why this is happening in Revelation 6:10. And they cried with a loud voice, saying, how long, O Lord, holy and true, dost thou not judge and avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth? So the Most High has to get vengeance for what they've done to his people, and not only the Israelites, but to the believing Gentiles. Now, I know camps say Gentiles can't be saved, but that's not true. Okay? So we got to understand that God is going, who we call Yahuwah or Yeshua. I believe Yeshua and the Father are the same. Y'all who don't, that's your business. But he's going to avenge our blood on them that dwell on the earth. Now, if we look at what's happening today in the media, in the news, and everything, there's something that's going on. And Minister tell you, interrupt me if you want to say anything. But as we look at the media today, there's a lot of revealing going on. Not all of this stuff is prophetic. Luke 8:17, for there is nothing hidden that will not be disclosed, and nothing concealed that will not be known or brought out into the open. So this is also prophetic, right? This is the day of revealing. Everything that is hidden is going to be revealed. Everything done in the dark is going to be revealed by the light.
Well, we see that in spades, right? We see the Ish people being revealed for who they are. We see the true Israelites being revealed as the true people of Yah. We see those who are doing evil being exposed, like P. Diddy. We'll see about TD Jakes. We'll see where that goes. I mean, we see France being exposed as still colonizing and oppressing the people of West Africa. On and on and on, right? This is the time of revealing for sure.
Now, I'm going to put the link out there for those who want to join the conversation, and I'm going to show a video. Well, anyway, let me do that before I say anything. All right. All right, it's pinned. All right. So I'm going to share a video, and be honest with you, this particular dude, I didn't expect it, but now I'm not surprised because everybody in entertainment and everybody, whether they rappers, artists, singers, dancers, acting, whatever, they're part of the Baphomet, right? It's sickening. It's sickening. But let's look at this.
Marcus Houston has recently faced intense scrutiny due to allegations of grooming and his controversial marriage. However, he has now come forward with his own explanation. Marcus revealed that he was...
Now, before I continue, I want to give a disclaimer, right? This is just rumor. We're sharing a video. We take no position on the truthfulness of the matter.
Was coerced into these actions by Chris Stokes, a prominent figure in the music industry whom he refers to as a monster. Marcus shared that Chris forced him into a gay affair, which has had a profound impact on his life and relationships. Marcus Houston, at the age of 37, married his 20-year-old girlfriend under circumstances that were deemed creepy and raised questions about the significant age difference. This event sparked discussions and speculation on the internet, leading to further scrutiny of Marcus's actions. Notably, this wasn't the first time Marcus had been accused of grooming. Razby, a member of the band B2K, had also accused Marcus of similar behavior, claiming that he had...
Let me pause 1 second. Also, just to let you know, if this is your first time on, please show your face behind the scenes, and you can go back to hiding your face. It's still your first time. Barry, I don't think you've been on before, right?
Gone through the same ordeal. This revelation shed light on the fact that Marcus had engaged in similar actions in the past. Upon reflection, it became clear that Marcus's behavior had been influenced by Chris Stokes, whom he described as a monster in the music industry. The coerced gay affair and grooming allegations have had a lasting impact on Marcus's life, shaping his future relationships and raising questions about the motivations behind his actions. It is evident that Marcus Houston's recent actions have been shaped by his past experiences with Chris Stokes and the accusations of grooming. The controversy surrounding his marriage and grooming allegations have brought to light the influence and control that individuals in positions of power can exert in the music industry and the consequences that can arise from such actions. Marcus vehemently denies the allegations made against him by Razby, stating that Razby is seeking attention and trying to hold on to fame and money after B2K's downfall. Marcus claimed in an interview that Razby would try to reach out and offer congratulations on his projects, but this behavior was solely for publicity and not genuine. However, Razby is not the only one who has accused Marcus of abusive behavior. Another young singer, Quindon Tarver, has come forward with allegations of assault and forced sexual acts under Chris Stokes' guardianship. Tarver revealed that he did not willingly participate in these acts and that they were non-consensual.
All right, I'm going to leave it right there. As you can see, everything that is hidden is being exposed. And I want to show one more thing before I bring the panel on. And You know, as I stated before, if you haven't been on the show before, show me your face in the background. Otherwise, I'm not gonna bring you forward.
Keepers in the music industry who have literally tried to hold a record deal behind their back and let me know, like, look, if you're a part of this homosexual act that I'm trying to take part in, you hear me? Yeah, come on, this door open real quick for you. Like I got a song where I've talked about that before called The Devil's Playground. Like, this is real, dog. And the only way that type of stuff can work on you is if you let them have all the leverage to where you want what's behind that gate that bad. So that's a real thing. You also got people who, this is a different type of gatekeeper. The gatekeepers who will say, hey, you making too much righteous noise right now. If you just tone that righteousness down a little bit, then we'll allow you into these doors. But you got to tone that down. You got to become a little more vanilla, you heard me? A little more lukewarm, a little more bland, and you'll fit in with us more. So that's the slick gatekeeping. It ain't telling you to all the way, bend over or open your mouth or something like that. It ain't that, but it's telling you, like, dim your light. And what ends up happening is you got so many people that's like, well, that's not that bad. They not asking me to do nothing super crazy. I just got to dim my light. That's the scariest kind right there. Because a lot of people will be like, wait, I just got to turn it from level 10 to level 5? Man, bet. I could do that, bro. I bet. Now I get accepted? Cool. Next thing you know, you got a whole industry, brother, that's lukewarm.
So I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to bring on some of the guests. As I said, Barry, I need to see your face. Otherwise, you're not coming on. All right. So we see that everything is being exposed. People are not here anymore because y'all know people ate lollipops. And so, as the Deagle report has stated, they're right on time for 2025, and it is massive. What do you think about this, brother Michael? This thing is crazy, it's concerning, and we are in the end times, period. And if you're not living for Yah and you're playing games, you're in trouble, brother Mike.
You're right, bro. I was just talking to Karis about this, and I said, Karis, man, it seems like we are up on the attack, and it seems like that Yah is trying his best to pull his people out of Babylon by exposing their wrongdoings they're doing in Hollywood or political arenas. This is what I'm seeing, bro. It's like what Tayo said, everything is coming to the light. And we and the thing about it that I'm seeing, bro, and I could be wrong. You posted something about 2 weeks ago, and I'm having brothers and sisters saying, Mike, and I myself experienced this too. I work out every day. Do what I'm supposed to do. How in the world I'm still having high blood pressure, bro?
I know exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
You know, and so I'm looking at this stuff like, wait a minute. This seemed like this is an attack on us as well, because it's like Hashatan sees something. He knows something is about to happen. I'm going to affect these Negroes. I'm going to let them contend with these health issues. And I just looked at it like this, Yakoba. So be it. Yeah. I'm going to continue to do what I'm supposed to do. But if you think I'm going to slip down into fear, oh no, I'm not even trying to entertain that. We passed that now.
I'm with Mike on that. That's how I do.
Yeah.
It is what it is at this point.
Brother Mike, did you read the article at tailministry.com?
No, I did not. Well, no. You talking about like 2 weeks ago?
No, the one that's I showed about the massive debts 2024.
No, you know what I did do, brother? It was this gentile. And he was talking about the massive death. I don't know if it's the same article, but I listened to him, and he was showing all of these countries where there was massive death. Africa was not on that chart.
Yeah. And
all of them was European lands.
And that, as we mentioned in the article, if you haven't read it, you know, all of the ERs are full to capacity, right? I mean, they're lined up on gurneys and everything, but y'all need to go check it out. You know, I can't say too much about it.
Yeah,
but it's bad. It's bad.
Yeah,
and you know what, brother? And I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say. Well, some of y'all know I, you know, got ill. My pressure went through the roof. I went to the ER. I waited 3 hours. I went to the receptionist. I say, how much longer? She said, I got 15 people ahead of me. Now, that's not common for me where I live, that I have 15 people ahead of me 3 hours later, right? And prior to that, I was watching my pressure every day. My numbers were beautiful. I was like, man, this is good. Look at these numbers. Sunday morning, the numbers were good. I'm like, wow, I'm doing good. Sunday night, through the roof. Through the roof. I'm like, I don't know what changed.
Yeah, I same thing happened here, brother. Same thing. The same thing. And I'm like, wait, no, something is not right. It just don't make sense.
Exactly.
The same thing happened with me. My brother, my friend, he the same. I'm serious, brother. And I'm like, no, something is not right. And that's how I look at it, bro. But like I said to you, it got to a point, I'm going to continue to do what I'm supposed to do. I work out, lift weights, and things of that nature. All right, the rest of it, it happens. And that's how I'm going. I got to go that way.
Oh, yeah. That's where I'm at, Mike. I'm just like you. They're not going to get me on all the drugs, man. I'm not doing it.
And you know what? On that note, you just said the drugs. Now, mind you now, the high blood pressure medicine, it does cause kidney damage. If you own it for 10 to 20 years, you will be on dialysis.
Oh, we probably need to be careful because of YouTube policy. But
my bad. I'm sorry about that, brother. Oh, you know, I'm just lying. YouTube, I'm just joking.
Yeah. So
even though it's documented, but anyway.
Yeah, I mean, there are alternatives. You should look at alternatives to help you. And sometimes it's a stopgap. You might be on it for a little bit, you know, so you don't die, you know. But you know, it's pretty bad. Let me move on, brother Mike. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just wanted to do a little quick survey. How many people have been having phlegm buildup for months? Like, this is the first time for the past, prior to this pressure going up. Can
I speak on that real quick?
Yeah, but I just wanted to give me a one if you've been fighting phlegm on a level you never had before. And,
I'm experiencing it right now. Right now, the same thing. When I'm on Karis's show, I'm always clearing my voice, and in the middle of a conversation, I gotta always. And I've been noticing that, man. Man, Yacoba talked about that a few months ago. I'm like, man, I'm saying to myself, why do I always having this phlegm?
Exactly. And look, I do everything I can to get rid of it. I mean, all the stuff that used to work doesn't work. Yeah. I'm like, what is this?
Ooh, and that's a whole different show.
Yeah, it is. And so, you know, and that's people who haven't had a lollipop, right? So
exactly,
you know, it's crazy. But let me move on. Miss Fitzy.
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom to the Tayu brothers, Brother Yacob and Brother Tayu. So there have been quite enough. I've been viewing a lot of sicknesses in my own household. Some sort of stomach bug went around, and 3 people got it. I haven't caught anything yet, but I have noticed there. And I'm in Arizona, so I have noticed that there have been a number of issues going on, within my own family and just in general. I work for Arizona, a college here in Arizona, and every week somebody is sick. Every single week somebody is sick. My boss has been sick twice within 2 weeks. My dad, who lives in Atlanta, he had high blood pressure a few weeks ago, and he doesn't eat. You know, he eats healthily, of course, but he landed in the hospital, and thankfully, this was before the whole um, build up in the emergency room. So he was in and out in a good number of time, and they actually took care of him, thankfully. But my sister, she just experienced a psychotic break. It's so much going on. And then I also wanted to speak on the Hollywood situation. I mean, people are always saying, "Well, why are Black people, or why are we the ones getting exposed?" And you have to remind people, of course, those that don't know, the House of Israel gets judged first.
Yep.
So there's that. I mean, that's why we're going to get exposed. Eventually, it's going to come to where you see I think it's actually happening simultaneously, where everybody's getting exposed, not just Black people, but the elites as well. So you have to look at that and say, well, of course, we have to be cleansed first. We don't need these idols. This is solely just to say your idols are useless. You need to come back to the Most High and stop worshiping people and things that don't serve you.
And see, that's the thing, right? If you notice, with all of this happening, there's another thing that's happening: leaving the Messiah, denying his divinity, all of this stuff that's moving people away. But at the same time, a lot of people aren't going to be here anymore, and they're going into eternity, right? And they're not knowing the Messiah.
And
It's pretty bad.
That's scary. That is a scary thought, because
Yeah.
you can't fathom. I personally couldn't fathom not having a Messiah, because if we don't have a Messiah, then we're finished.
Exactly. Let me move on, Misfit Fee. We'll come back around. Thanks. Mark B.
Yes, thank you, Jacob. It's my first time speaking here, but on the health topic, I can definitely say, going back 2017, I was diagnosed with hypertension, type 2 diabetes. I was morbidly obese. I was about 265 pounds. I'm 5'9". And I prayed, and it was before I discovered the name of Yah. But I prayed for guidance, and the Holy Spirit guided me to watch some documentaries and to change what was on my plate. And I later learned that the Bible talks about the laws that we should follow regarding food. And so I just took it to the extreme. And with the guidance of my daughters and my wife, I watched their health transform right in front of me, and that was all the confirmation I needed to make the changes. And today I'm 165 pounds and haven't budged from that number over the last 2.5 years. And type 2 diabetes, hypertension, obesity, that stuff doesn't exist for me anymore, and I've never touched any of those meds, nor the lollipop. So there's truth, not just truth for us physically, but truth for us spiritually.
Exactly. Thank you, Mark.
Great
B.
testimony. Praise Yah for that.
Sister Betty.
Shalom, family. Shabbat shalom. All praise to the Most High for this panel and for the twin brothers that are hosting the show today. Yakoba, about a week or two ago, I emailed you because you was in my ruach very, very heavy. I was just saying, I was praying for your health, mentally, physically, and everything, because I was telling Arthur, something is going on with Yakoba. We have not heard anything from him, just short stuff. And you was just kind of like, I thought maybe you were just extremely tired, not really knowing what your condition was. And now I'm so thankful that I did reach out to you and let you know that I'm praying for you and praying for the family. And with that being said, I want to tell y'all something that's going on in the spiritual realm, starting with Hollywood, and it trickles all the way down to our own families right now. See, Hollywood been wicked, and that whole sodomy thing that they do. See, that's because they have kissed the butthole of Satan.
Yeah.
They have kissed the butthole. That's called inflamme something other, where the Europeans practiced this ritual thousands of hundreds of years ago. That is what it's called. The butt is called Satan's mouth. And see, I don't. If you're a homosexual, I pray for you. But the truth is the truth. Whenever you're practicing homosexuality, you are possessed with a wicked demonic spirit, because homosexuality is nothing but a tool of a satanic ritual that these Catholics been
So
doing.
Sister Betty, if you can couch those in more like alphabet
Okay.
community or something.
Okay, okay. The A B C D E F, the Q community. Listen, what TD Snakes did, he's not just doing an act. He's initiating people, in him and Puff D and Tyler P into their satanic ritual thing. See, this is not just about the SEX thing. This is a demonic satanic ritual that Hollywood, including Jay-Z and Beyonce, they are putting on the world. They're doing rituals and spiritual things onto the world, and especially our community. See, Jay-Z produced in the movie. I know of the Book of Clarence. I know we heard him. Oh, he didn't write it, but they're missing the point. He is the producer, meaning he had firsthand touches on that movie, and it's totally blasphemy trying to get our community to go into another one of Jay-Z and Beyonce's satanic rituals, because that dude that started in it, Lakeith, whatever his name is, these things are demonic. These are demons that are sitting inside of TD Snakes. Listen, our community is just being indoctrinated into this satanic cult that's spreading all over the world. And like I said, it's trickling down to the family, because right here in the midst of my own family, I just went to my auntie's funeral last Saturday. My cousin played for the NFL. He stood up and was saying how he's retiring now. Okay, but that family, my family, that side of it, it's a total split in the family. He don't want to have nothing to do with wicked. And then right here in my own family with my own sisters, brothers, it's a split. If you look into your family right now with the wickedness that's going on in the world, it's a split in the family. It's just Satan just continually trying to break up the community of the Hebrew Israelite. That whole sodomy thing is a ritual. The Catholic Church has always practiced this ritual, pedophilia, and what they're digging up under New York, they JEW, dumb people there with the little hats on up under the tunnel. That is they doing pedophilia, child.
Oh yeah.
That's all that is, a ring. But when it come down to those people, they're not going to be exposed. But let it have been one of the Hebrew Israelite community. We can't get away with absolutely nothing. But first, the Most High Yahuwah is not going to allow us to. That's fine. But see, those Gentiles, they don't mind being exposed, because they're just being exposed to who they really are. This is who they really are. They've been preying on little children for hundreds of years. This is nothing new to them. So when we see it, we open our eyes like, oh, wow, they're doing this. They've been doing it. They've been doing it. This is their culture. This is their world. Right now, the prince, he rules this. This is their world. Stop being shocked by what you see the Gentiles do. This is what the Greeks, the Romans, this is what they've done. This is what they've done. Rape children. This is what they do. I'm not shocked at anything that happens in the world today, because I know this is what they do. Thank you, Jacob, and I'm still praying for your health, and Shabbat Shalom to the panel.
All right, thank you, Sister Betty. And I'm gonna share another video, then we're gonna come back to BB Ephraim, because as we mentioned, things are being exposed, both the positive and the negative, right? The Luciferic order, the pedophilia, the essays, put it that way, all of that's being exposed. But as we know, other things are being exposed as well. Like I say, some things for the good, some things for the bad.
You know, that ever since we opened that subject, now they came back and said there's 70,000 black prophets. You never heard this before, not even from Muslim ulama, that they kept showing and pretending that all the prophets were white. But since they opened this key, this knowledge came onto the earth for people to go back and check their history. They said there are as many as 70,000 prophets of Allah dark skinned, and that don't believe the history that you've seen on television and written in books that are of a pro-white understanding. They make everything painted, what you call whitewashed. They take every color and paint it as if everybody from heaven were Vikings. No offense to the Viking people, but that wasn't the reality. Now subhanAllah, all these ulama are now posting this prophet was black, Sayyidina Sulaiman salam, Sayyidina Davos, all their history was dark skin color. Bilqis and Sheba were all Eritrean and Ethiopian natives, so these were a very black race of people, dark skin color. But it means these haqqaiqs and last days is what we're telling you about, black and white. When we get closer to the end, the truth will come out.
So everybody's being exposed, all the truth coming out, everything that's hidden is coming to the light. BB, what's your thoughts on that? Unmute yourself.
Are you talking to me, Vivi?
No, BB Ephraim.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Minister Yakuba, calling from Nigeria. I want to appreciate Minister Yakuba and Minister to you for this wonderful opportunity that I'm not taking for granted. I've been listening to you for some years. I started listening to Theo Ministries since 2019, yeah, and I've been blessed. Concerning the health topic on the floor, we cannot pretend that some of our brothers will fall victim of this shaking that is going on, because this is a year of separation, the sheep and the goat. This is a year of exposition. In ancient Egypt, water turned to blood, and I won't say that some Hebrews weren't affected as well. Also, some Hebrews had to bury some of their dead relatives in secret before the Exodus. Obviously, some of them were also affected because they didn't stay in line with Yah. And the boils probably affected some of our own too. So obviously, with everything that is going on in the world, starting from the lollipop all the way to the chemtrailing and all the bizarre things we are seeing all around, health is going down, down, down. But unto them that wait on the Lord shall the Son of Righteousness arise with healing in his wings. I believe as many as are staying in the secret place of the Most High will scale through this very turbulent time. But truth must be said, some of our own, some of our rebellious, some of our stubborn own will be affected. But my prayer is that as many as our teachers that are leading us, guiding us in this awakening, not be removed from teachers, and any health issue that is bothering any of our teachers will not overcome them. That is my prayer, and that is my prayer for Yakuba and all the teachers that have been guiding us and have been enlightening us hitherto. I rest my case. Thanks, Yakuba. Thanks, everybody.
All right. Thank you, Brother BB Ephraim. Appreciate it. Sister Steph.
Okay, can you hear me, Brother Tail?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I just want to comment about the article and the video that you put out on the blog today. And I did watch it, and the first question that came to my mind was, is this a correlation with the juice that people were encouraged to take at the beginning of the pandemic? Because it's just too perfect to me. It's just too perfect for all of this to be happening, and all these people are coming down with whatever the illness is, since they don't have a name for it yet. And I'm not betting, but I have a feeling that it does have something to do with the Jews. So far, I mean, I can't recall where they said it was in Florida,
Yeah,
where they
Miami.
had in Florida and Miami, where they said the ER was packed, and the other places. But what I'm gonna do, because I've been praying, because ever since they had those scientists talking about that it had the shots that came later. I'm sorry, the juice that came later. And people were saying it has luciferase in it, and it has other things in it, all that. I'm just committed to praying for, especially for my family, because I have several family members that decided to take it, and it's showing up differently in people that I knew took it. It's showing up differently. They're not getting sick per se, but it's their mentally, how they're behaving, how they're talking. But I'm just gonna pray, because it
Well, that's why I say
yeah,
it's hell on earth, right?
yeah,
People don't
yeah.
know what's happening, and I believe this is probably every city in America, if not the world. We're just not
Mm-hmm.
hearing about what's happening in those institutions right now.
Yep, 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 yep. So yeah, and I agree. I agree. And supposedly it's supposed to be controlled chaos, but I mean, it's coming out. It's coming out anyway. And so that's what I want to say about the article and the video. But my other comment, as far as with the small hat people and how they found that tunnel and all that, leading wherever it was going, with probably had something to do with trafficking. But I've never trusted them, and I want to say it's happening Catholic religion, when they would baptize the children, and specifically the boys. And I recall, I didn't see it on video, but I remember seeing like photos where the priest would kiss the little boys, his little private area. Or was that when they would circumcise them? I think it has something to do with circumcision. But I knew something was not right with that religion. I'm like, there's no reason to put your mouth down there. But I do
Yeah.
recall, hearing about that. But
Yeah.
never trusted them.
Since you brought that up, before I go
Uh-huh.
to Brother Abraham, I
Stop.
want to show you somebody who's defending the small hats, and who beat up on the Israelites and called us names and lied on us and said we're Harold Campings because the 400-year prophecy. I'm like, if this ain't the 400-year prophecy, I don't know what is, because all hell breaking loose. But let's listen to this particular person. Y'all haven't heard from him on this channel for a while, but he needs to get a little bit of exposure.
And you follow him on Twitter. I follow him. It's just I'm not on my account logged in. That's why it's saying that. But follow Lewis Keene. I would recommend, because these issues are important. And here's what he says. Also, yes, the students involved were messianic, but that doesn't mean they had messianic aims. There were certainly others in the building who approved of what they did when they learned about it, and evidently far more who disapproved. Now, here's actually a 3D rendering of what the Chabad tunnel was eventually intended to achieve: an adjoining space for prayer connected to the existing sanctuary through its south wall, provided by a source aware of the tunnel project but not involved in its construction. All right, now, this is also important to understand. You hear people talking about tunnels and tunnel systems. That's all sensationalistic reporting. It's all rumor. It's really tunnel, 50 to 60 feet. That's the deal. Shout out to Jimmy Berman. How you doing? Yes, they are. I see your comment. He is correct. Now, the term worship's a little strong, Jimmy. to some of us, some of the praise given to Schneerson would look like that. So I'm not entirely disagreeing that there's some lines that are really dangerous that sometimes people get close to in regards to that. However, you said they all worship the Rebbe. I think it's more like a small minority are on the brink of doing things that look like worship with the Rebbe. Perhaps specifically the Eloists. I think my man Radar Apologetics would know about them. Shout out to you. Well, you're saying they. You know, Chabad's a really large movement. You know what I'm saying? So it's important to understand that. Shout out to Mike B. Yep. Good places to go. Good places to go there in New York. And there are a couple of camps infighting. In fact, it's more than just a couple, it seems. Again, shout out to Nate for holding it down. Everybody subscribe to In Context with Jim Green as well as Radar Apologetics, please.
So we got Mr. Vocab Malone defending the small hats. Now, this from Brother Pacrasino. And shout out to Brother Pacrasino. Jewish Christian apologist John Vocab Malone Reiser goes for a long live stream to defend the Chabad Lubavitch synagogue tunnels. Surprise, surprise. Called the 1948ers the underdog and essentially said they deserved the benefit of the doubt after making a case for why he felt compelled to defend them. Even found occasion for a dig on Palestinians currently undergoing genocide, whatever. Viewers became suspicious and left comments. So let's look at this right quick. What did they say? If the Black Hebrew Israelites was digging tunnels in the middle of New York City preparing for the coming Messiah, I wonder if you would be so sympathetic. Exactly. I don't agree with anything BHI says at all, but you do have a point. Same here, brother. I'm vehemently opposed to the BHI, but I also think he makes a good point. To be honest, I'm tired of fellow Christians bending over backwards for these people with their wicked religion, making excuses for them and placing them on a pedestal. I lost track of how many times anti-Semitism was mentioned in this stream, which is a nonsensical term, just like toxic masculinity popularized by the cultural Marxists in the past few years. So he getting heat from his own listeners about what's going on with those tunnels. Now, I've always felt that Mr. Reiser is probably a ish person himself. So of course he would defend them.
Yeah, so he appears to be genetically. He looks like one.
Oh yeah, he looks like one, right? So let's see. Who was next? Abraham T. Abraham T.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hello. This is my first time calling in, so I appreciate your ministry. I'm gonna be very, very honest. I'm just now learning about the being a Hebrew and things of that nature. So forgive me for not knowing the terminology and everything else. I do believe after everything I've read and articles I've seen and things of that nature, books I've read, but I still don't know all the terms, so I'm just saying that in advance. Please forgive me. I noticed that with the lollipop, I've ran into people who said that once they've taken like dormant diseases, has like reoccurred in their bodies and things of that nature. So that's just my take on that. But there's only two things I kind of want to mention, and then I'm jumping off. The first thing is kind of unrelated but related, and maybe you can give me some clarity on it. It's something I've been praying about and thinking about for about 6 or 7 months. I had a dream. It was probably late last summer, early spring, something like that, in which there was no black people in America. Like, we were gone. For some reason, I don't know what happened, but we were gone. And for some reason, I came back from another country, and the black people I did see did not look like we look. They were melanated. They had green eyes, hazel eyes. They looked like they were mixed, but they were still being treated like our ancestors were treated. And you can tell by their disposition. And ever since that dream, I don't know, it really just kind of lack of better terms, it really just freaked me out. And I still don't understand like exactly what that means. And the second thing is, if we truly are God's chosen people, the Israelites, and I do believe that we are, I don't understand how people who call themselves prophets and ministers never mention it. I don't understand why is it so hidden. I don't get it. And these are people
So
who,
Brother Abraham, how long you say you've been in the awakening?
honestly, less than a year, to be honest with you.
Okay, so you got a lot of catching up to do. We got a lot of videos, and you'll find out that they've been chasing us around the world since 70 AD. And also during the Inquisition, they chased us out of Spain and Portugal. And they continued to chase us. And their goal is to make us perpetual slaves. And so that's why after 2019, all hell broke loose, because we awoke, right? But go ahead, finish your statement.
Oh no, I mean that was pretty much it, because I mean I was telling my dad that that this is what I've been reading and studying, and he agrees with me, and then he starts showing me things from because I'm from South Carolina, the Gullah people, and I'll show him that Gullah means redeemed in Hebrew and stuff like that. So I was like, there has to be something here. And I'm like, I know they're not telling us everything because we're the only people that don't know anything. We have to find it all on our own. And that's pretty much it. I really enjoy your panel. I'm sorry if I interrupted anything, but I just kind of want to get you guys' input, and I appreciate your time.
All right, thank you, Brother Abraham. Vivi.
Hello, hello, hello. Can you hear me?
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Bless.
So I was just sitting here thinking, I just got a couple of 3 points to make, and then I'm going to be off. One, I just wanted to say that the Most High is just exposing all this vanity. I know we've said it time and time again. He's just exposing vanity. He's exposing these idols. He's taking down these principalities. I think he's just, and it does start with the house of Israel, but it does not end with the house of Israel. It's just, he is our father. He's not going to let us misbehave without being punished. My mom used to say, I don't care what they're doing in that house, but in this house, if you do something wrong, you're going to get punished. You can't watch TV. You can't go outside. You're going to come on home after school, and that's it. So we have to realize that we're under covenant with him. And so whenever we step out of line, he's going to yank us back into line. If we're not going to get back in line, here comes the correction. Here comes that rod. So, I think this is a time of exposing. And he's trying to tell us who we are. And if you don't act right, you're going to get some of this get right. And secondly, I just wanted to say that, I work in healthcare. I've been working in healthcare for about 20 years now, over 20 years. And the stuff that I'm seeing is nothing short of what I can only say is judgment. Yes, I've worked in the ER. I worked in ICUs. I have to be careful what I say because I am what they call a mid-level provider in some areas. And I have never seen so many what we have to do plasma exchanges on people because they're having some kind of like autoimmune issue, where something is attacking their platelets or something is attacking their nervous system. I've never seen so many young people in their 20s and 30s having what we call neurological events. I have to be very careful. And, it's kind of, I would be scared if I didn't know what was going on and if I wasn't covered.
Yeah, exactly.
I would be very scared.
Yeah.
And in regards, I saw you said the ER is very incompetent in one of your comments, and it's not just the ER. The average experienced bedside personnel when there's bedside personnel who is probably does 80% or gives you 80% of your care. Again, I'm being very careful what I'm saying. Probably the experience is 5 years. That is your expertise, and that's scary. And because a lot of your more experienced people are getting burned out. Some of them maybe didn't take a particular medicine. Some of them did and wish they hadn't. I wish I could say more, but it was the Most High covered me where I didn't have to take a certain thing, and then I was able to work. But then again, I prayed on it. I did some fasting, and he worked it out for me. A lot of other people felt like they didn't have that choice. And I will say a lot of people in healthcare wouldn't have done it unless their job was threatened, because they knew the research and the science behind it was not there.
Yeah, see, the thing is, you can't let people force you into things. It's sort of like what was happening with a lot of these entertainers, and TD Jakes and all these people with the grooming. The devil's busy. He's gonna force people to take a mark, right? And are y'all gonna give in to the mark of the beast? You know what I'm saying? You're going to hell then, for sure.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I tried to make that point to a lot of people, but they were just, I said, okay,
They're
well.
not going to listen. They're not going to listen. Look, it's just like what they do, with the whole thing with the Messiah and his divinity, trying to make him Joseph's son and all this stuff. Look, you give them 100 scriptures and they ignore them, right? They try to pick one little scripture that's sort of questionable about the topic to make their doctrine. There's nothing you can do about it. We are in those times of deception. But yeah, go ahead.
And that was the last point I wanted to make. It was just, there has the Satan is going to have a counterbalance to what the awakening. We're praying, we're fasting, repenting. So I see this thing as a counterbalance. Like we hit, and so he has to hit back. So we have to make sure that we stay, we stay in position. And that's all I want to say. I just hope I added to the conversation. I appreciate your channel. I appreciate you for having me on. Shalom to you all. Love you.
Hey, right, can I ask a question real quick?
Go ahead.
Hey, sister.
Yes.
Have you been noticing anyone, who may have gotten the lollipop and end up with a, what do they call it?
Long term.
No. It's he has a heart problem, but he has a what do they call it? They put in his chest. What you say?
Myocarditis or?
No, his heart is bad now, and they had to put a
pacemaker.
A pacemaker.
Pacemaker. Yes. Have you been noticing that?
So I have anecdotal things that I can see. I've been trying to I have to be careful, write stuff down and see if people had a certain thing. I have been, so when we give, sometimes if somebody has a clot, we would be able to give a certain medication. It would bust up the clot, right?
Yeah.
And now we have a new medication, and I'm like, well, what happened to the old medication? Because I don't know if it wasn't working. I don't know what happened. I don't know if this is a different type of clot, but I noticed that people, in just general, not just with the heart. I'm talking about neurological. I'm talking about heart issues. I'm talking about blood issues, because I kind of work.
And we just want to make sure y'all know this is not medical advice.
It's not medical advice. It's not. I'm just, this is anecdotal. This is just what I've seen personally. I don't have any research. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just saying I've noticed, this is what I've noticed. I'm not making any correlation. That's why I'm trying to be very careful on how I walk with this.
All right, let me ask you one more question. I'm gonna shut up.
Yes. Okay. Okay.
I know you've been seeing a lot of more heart attacks than anything, but what about strokes?
Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes.
You've been seeing strokes?
And young people, like 20s,
Oh,
30s. Yes.
but is it?
Hemorrhagic and ischemic.
Wait a minute.
I'm
What is
just saying,
there are two
oh,
different types of strokes?
yeah, you have a one that where you bleed into your brain, and you have one where you have a clot and it clots off oxygen.
You go, girl. I know that. I
Yes.
mean, a stroke is a
No,
stroke to
it's
me.
no,
You know.
no, it's fine. And then myself too. I'm 5'5", 125 pounds, and I've been struggling with blood pressure for a minute now, and I feel like attacked every day. And you know, I have to go in prayer and say to the Most High, please protect my kidneys, please protect my
Yep,
heart.
me too. Yep,
Please
Yeah.
protect, because I know this enemy is really trying to take me out, because
yep,
I'm
me
the only
too.
one really in my house that's really trying to push this, my family in the right direction. And yeah, so
Well, look, Israel need to just straight up repent and stop playing
yes,
games. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? And
absolutely,
Yeah.
denying the divinity of the Messiah and
absolutely,
his virgin birth. I'm like, y'all part of the
absolutely.
problem. You
Okay.
know.
Yeah,
But
because
go ahead. I'm
they
sorry.
interested in the religion of being Israel, but not the reconciliation of the house of Israel with the Most High.
Yep.
That's what they're not interested in.
Yes.
That's why they
Mm-hmm.
behave so recklessly.
Mm-hmm. All right, y'all.
Right.
Thank you so
So
much.
thank
No,
you.
thank you, sister.
Sister.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm gonna come back to you, Abia, after I show this video, because as I stated, we're in a time of judgment, right? And literal judgment. I mean, masses of people not gonna be here no more. Go read Revelation chapter 6, and according to Revelation chapter 6, the fourth seal, a fourth of the planet is gonna not be here anymore based upon the plagues, the wars, the famine. And you can see that, right? I mean, we are in some serious trouble, and it boggles the mind that nobody's talking about it, which is why I had to do this show, because nobody's talking about what's happening in these places of, where we go get our health look at, right? Nobody's talking about it. But also understand that, I told y'all America's done. Right? I mean, it's Babylon. Babylon's under judgment, and you'll see.
Say you should be packing heat.
Fox 35's Brian Scott is here now with more on this bold suggestion. Brian?
Yeah, 3 sheriffs in the area are now standing together on this one, saying terrorists, active shooter, whatever the situation, they want citizens ready to step up.
If you're not afraid of a gun, get one.
The message from Polk County's top cop, crystal clear.
Become proficient. Get a concealed firearms license and carry it. And if you need to shoot somebody, shoot them a lot.
Sheriff Grady Judd's going public today with his response to attacks around the world and here at home, telling citizens they need to step up.
The armed assailant doesn't plan on you fighting back. He plans on having a gun, doing all the shooting, and you're just the sitting duck, where the ducks need to shoot back.
And if not a gun, something to defend yourself and those around you. A bold stance.
Be prepared to serve as the first line of defense.
Very similar to the one Brevard Sheriff Wayne Ivey went viral with 2 weeks ago. That video now up to nearly 500,000 views.
No matter who you are, what your position is on guns, there's no denying the fact that the only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun or a knife is an armed and well-prepared citizen or law enforcement officer.
And tonight, Volusia County Sheriff Mike Chitwood is also stepping up. He tells me he backs Judd and Ivey on this one completely, adding, there's not enough police in America to stop all of these threats. Just one citizen stepping up, he says, could make the difference.
So the question is, what do these sheriffs know, right? What is on the horizon for them to tell people, hey, start packing? Abia?
Shalom, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 points I want to make. First, with the sickness, I don't know if it's just me, but all right. So as I'm talking right now, I have a lot of phlegm inside my stomach. My whole family came down sick recently, and it's very strange because we don't get sick like that. We eat healthy. We don't eat fast food. We don't eat pork. We eat healthy, and I feel like the plague that they put out, not the plague, but you remember, because I live in New York. So last year around this time, they had like a bunch of mist and smog, like orange smog, that they said was like forest fires from Canada. I feel like that's one of the things that they use to weaken our immune system, among other things too. And
So,
everybody's
Brother
sick.
B, where are you
Hmm.
from?
Oh, I'm in New York.
Okay, but you're from what?
Oh, my family is from Jamaica.
Jamaica. Okay, and
Hmm.
how are they in Jamaica in comparison to here?
Well, to be honest, a lot of people over in Jamaica some of them is sick, but I'd say half and half, half and half. The ones that are sick is only because foreign investors come over and pollute the area and put a lot of pollutants in the air, and people who usually get sick because unlike in the West, Caribbean countries have all the herbs and all the natural fruits and plants that you could boil a bush and get healed quickly. But now they're complaining about respiratory systems problem, breathing problem, and things of that sort. But everybody's falling down sick, and like even my lower back is in pain. My whole body was tender. Right now I'm healing up now, but it just seemed weird. And I know that if we took the vaccine, because none of us took it.
Yeah, we don't mention that word.
Oh, my bad, my bad. If we took the lollipop, I know that a lot of us, if not all of us, would have probably been dead by now. Because
Yeah.
even in my heart area, I feel like like I'm getting a heart attack. And secondly, we we definitely live in a time of revelation, and
Yeah.
where all the secrets is coming out. I would have never dreamed of all of these information and new revelations coming out. Um, as far as with the Ish people, with the tunnels and whatnot. Pastor Kelly put out a video last night where a guy was explaining how the Khazars, how the Chinese call them the name stealers, and what they would do. Let's say you travel in their area, they would befriend you, sweet you up, give you food, clothes, and shelter. And once
Yeah,
they
that was originally posted in the Rumble Room by Brother Pacrasino.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah, I
just saw it
think
yesterday.
Dante also referenced a book earlier than that about the name stealers. I think that was a teaching, but yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but it's just so interesting to see how all hidden knowledge is coming out, both bad and good. And I feel like as the closer we get to the Messiah coming, is the more and more damning and more insightful information is coming out. And it's just
Oh
for
yeah.
us to sit back and observe. And it's just it's it's sad for me to see that a lot of our people is so blind to it. I mean, it's as clear as day to me and to many of us. But I try to explain this to a lot of people. They look at me like I'm crazy. So I
Yep.
just keep my mouth closed because I can't say nothing. So that's my 2 cents on it, brother.
All right. Thank you, Brother Abia. And understand his family that everybody's going to be exposed. It's not just the Hollywood people and all of this stuff. Your mores, your pastors, your camp members, they all going to be exposed. This is the time of the revealing. This is the time of those things done in the dark going to be brought to the light. Watch. Just watch. Mark my words. All right. Brother Judah Jake. He froze up. Yeah. All right. So, Lady Jake.
Shalom, Brother Yakoba and Minister Teo and family.
Shalom.
Ah,
Greetings.
well, I can say for the past 3 weeks I've been sick. 2 weeks prior I was struggling, and so I've been off work for 3 weeks. The second week I was sick, and I do believe that there's issues with what we eat. And I think it's causing a lot of autoimmune issues in our bodies. So we really need to be very mindful of what we eat, and we need to keep away from the processed foods, dairy, and we're just going to have to keep it as simple as possible. Like, if it looks like a potato, eat that. If it doesn't, then don't. And, you know, I had to go to the ER. Oh, no, sorry, A&E. And because I could not move my right arm, I was in such pain for 2 nights I didn't sleep. So I said, I'm going to have to go to the House of Horrors. And my blood pressure, being that everyone's talking about blood pressure because I refuse to take them things, but I have felt absolute fine until I actually have to go for a checkup. They take my blood pressure, and then the nurse will start screaming at me, even telling me, I could drop dead at this very instant. Yeah, of course I'm going to have high blood pressure with you screaming at me like that. But anyway, I went to the House of Horrors, and my blood pressure was 200 and something over 200. So they're telling me, oh, our main concern is the blood pressure, the blood pressure.
Wait. 200 over 200?
Yeah.
You okay now? That is high.
I know, but I believe it's because I was in such severe pain with my right shoulder. Like, I could not move my arm. And so they're telling me that their main priority is my blood pressure. And I literally had to lose it and say, well, with the pain that I'm feeling, which is more than likely causing my blood pressure, my priority is my arm. And so with much deliberation, they took me somewhere else in the House of Horrors, where the treatment was very different. And I'm like, okay. And they put me in a bed. They, of course, took my blood pressure again. They took bloods. They sent me for an x-ray, which I've gone to the emergency and they said, no, we're not going to do any of that. And it's like, excuse me? So what is this department for then? And so, you know, they did all the tests. And of course, I had to take 2 of their sorcery pills. And they did give me pain relief. And of course, my blood pressure went down. So they released me. But, you know, and I've always said it ever since I was young. Because, you know, I'm 57. But ever since I was young, like from the age of like 17, I've always said they're trying to kill us. They're trying to kill us. Not knowing where this download was coming from, but that's what I've always said. They prescribed me 500 milligrams of cocodamol, which says can cause addiction, contains opioid, along with ibuprofen, ibuprofen, 200 milligrams. And so that I started the Monday and it would knock me out. I took it the Tuesday. I was out. I went to the doctor's, back to the doctor on Thursday concerning my shoulder, which they said they would send me a scan for. So I said to him, I said, could I have a gel rub for the shoulder? He says, no, what you have is good enough. And just seeing the look on his face, because he wasn't one of us. And he wasn't one of our Gentiles. He was an Indian. And from the look on his face, when I left the surgery, I just went cold turkey. I didn't touch another pill. Because it's like, you're going to stretch it out. So I keep taking these things, get addicted. And yeah, so we have to be so mindful. But what I also wanted to say was this. It's like all the dirt is being exposed. It's like God is just lifting up the cover off of everything and flinging it in a slide to say, look. Remember in the book of Ezekiel where he said, like, look through the hole in the wall, and they were doing all kind of abominable things. This is what's happening. We're being shown all the abominable things that's happening behind the doors of the churches, behind the doors of the governments. Just everything is being exposed. So, you know, like I always say, we must look up and know that our redemption is drawing nigh. But as you know, Brother Yakoba, with my persuasion, I've heard 2 pastors state that they have had more phone calls than anything concerning deletions than what they've ever dealt with. So yeah, you know, people.
But see, that's the thing. I mean, we've been warning people and we're here, right? And the thing that boggles my mind is that, you know, all of this is happening and everybody acting like nothing's happening. You know, I mean, I remember a few years ago, I was, managing a team of developers and we were walking, going to lunch. And we walking out, I say, yeah, what y'all think about all the chemtrails? And they like, what's a chemtrail? I say, look up in the sky right above you. Oh, I ain't even see that. I'm like, what's with these people? They're in the matrix. They're in the, I don't get it. It's a spell.
They are. They are under a spell because it's like they know nothing of what's going on around them. And I don't get it either. But you know what? I can only say that, you know, God has taken us that have our eyes open to give that warning. But whether or not people listen, only God knows the outcome of who we warn, give the warning to.
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
and here's the thing. We all don't know if we're gonna make it out. The Bible says if we make it past the sword, you know, it ain't just the bombs and the bullets, right? It's the biologicals, right? And so, you know, we're all being hit, and people who you knew, you know, just all of a sudden they're not here no more. I mean, literally, that's what's happening. It's suddenly, right? And this how you know that the world is under judgment, you know, because in the past, I don't know how you young folks are because y'all don't know a lot of things, but in the past, you know when somebody's about to make it to the, you know, to the graveyard, right? They're usually weak. They're usually going to the doctor a bit more, and it's overtime. But now, guess what? You wake up, you just talked to a person yesterday, tomorrow they're not here. That's how it is. You know, and you know, Tail Ministries got gaslighted for years because we said the 400-year prophecy before it all happened. All this hell was going to break loose before it all happened. And we get gaslighted, right? And even today, we still get gaslighted. But guess what? What do you make of this? Christian, what do you make of this? Apologist, what do you make of this? What do y'all think happening? I'm like, your mommies and your daddies and your cousins and your aunts and your uncles, a lot of them, almost every family, somebody not here no more.
It's true, because I've gotten kicked out of WhatsApp groups, and one in particular where they teach medical missionary information, and where I've put things in the chat about the lollipop, I was kicked out and was told, you're frightening the people. Well, we're in 24 now. Those that I was frightening, where are they now?
Yeah. So I got another video I want to show, and we'll come back around. Thank you, Lady J.
Story of invasions. One group of people moving into someone else's land and taking it. One nation ends, another begins. Invasions drive history. Few Americans understand this is happening to them right now. The United States of America is being invaded.
For the love of God, this is a damn invasion. Who is allowing this?
They invaded our privacy.
I think it's an invasion of the country.
In other words, it's ending. The country you grew up in no longer exists. Soon it will be unrecognizable. No one is fighting back. Few are even acknowledging it. And the people who lead us are letting it happen. Why are our leaders letting this happen? Well, to destroy the country and to change the demographics. Who lives here determines what the country's like. This country is changing faster than you may understand. Americans are being replaced. That's not a conspiracy theory, it's a fact. In August of 2023, illegal immigration outpaced American births, a brand new population. Last year alone, over 3 million people came here illegally just over our southern border. The media won't tell you it's happening, but if you look around, you can see it, and you can see it most clearly in our cities, which are collapsing. We elect people to protect us. That's what politicians are paid to do. But they've done the opposite. They've sold us out, and they've crushed what our ancestors built. Take a look at our cities. They're hellish, and immigration is the reason. The city of Chicago was in tough shape even before Joe Biden opened the border. Now, parts of it are basically uninhabitable. Even the socialist mayor of Chicago says the city is breaking under the strain.
Without real significant investment from our federal government, it won't just be the city of Chicago that won't be able to maintain this mission. It's the entire country that is now at stake.
Chicago's politicians may complain about illegal immigration in public, but in private, they're paying for it with your money. They're spending more on illegal aliens than on their own citizens. They're doing this secretly. They're hiding it from the public. Our team uncovered a shadow terminal, for example, inside Chicago O'Hare Airport. Hundreds of migrants were being hidden there secretly. Our team pulled up with cameras rolling, and at first we didn't see much. The city erected a black tarp to hide what was going on. The motive was simple. They didn't want us to see it. And a third-party security group paid for with your tax dollars told us that was prohibited. We weren't allowed to see.
What are you doing?
I want to look inside.
For what? For what?
They weren't local or federal law enforcement, so we ignored them. They had no authority. They were rent-a-cops. Inside, our team found more than 100 beds on the floor. The smell was overpowering, repulsive. It was filthy.
So I'll leave it there. It's a little longer, but here's the thing. Everything we told y'all is coming to pass, right? Everything is coming to pass. Hashtag ain't no 400-year prophecy. And, you know, the ones who come and gaslight you, you have to look at them sideways now. What is their agenda, right? Because their agenda apparently isn't truthfulness. All of this stuff is happening. Everybody knows, but you're not hearing about it. They're not talking about it. But guess what? You're in danger just like we all are. Everybody's in danger who's in Babylon. But America's not Babylon. It's the Vatican. Yeah, I don't see the Vatican falling apart. I don't see anybody worried about merchandise and doing trade with the Vatican. See, y'all got some mores out there that's lying to y'all. Y'all don't listen. Y'all, look, y'all need to learn how to do some research. How many times, look, I'm going to say it like this, right? Not to pat myself on the back, but how many times we going to be proven right? And we warned y'all, and we told y'all about certain people and how they conveniently don't cover certain topics. Why is that? Why is that? Just like all of these entertainers are being exposed, I told you, and TD Jakes and all these pastors, guess what? Your mores is going to be exposed. Your Israelite mores, they're going to be exposed. All the ones who have another agenda but Yah's agenda. This is what we're dealing with. And now, guess what? You could go all the way back before 2019, way back to 2016, and see, guess what? Fall of the Gentile powers. Guess what? Talking about Ukraine and Russia was going to be at war and it's going to lead to World War III. Guess who did that? Tail Ministries. But you got people out there who want to attack our teachings. But guess what? Who's been proven right? That's what I want to know. See, the reason why I say this is because lives are at stake. Lives are at stake. And people want to play games. People want to play popularity contests. And people not hear anymore. They're not listening because y'all going by every wind of doctrine. Y'all want to listen to the Vatican be in Babylon. Y'all want to listen to whether or not the Messiah birth is virgin birth or not. Y'all want to deny his divinity. Y'all want to listen to everything but the truth while your family members ain't here no more. Y'all keep playing games. I told y'all already, this thing is over. Foreign developers, including Chinese, Russian, Iranian, and Venezuelans, now own at least 40 million acres of U.S. land near military bases from coast to coast. Government admits it does not know full extent of the land grab. I told you, Babylon's done. But guess what? Y'all want to just act like it don't matter. It's all same as it ever was. Y'all want to act like all of this is my imagination. But guess what? While people dropping next to you, and you could have been warning them. You could have been giving them a heads up. You could have been telling them to repent. You could have been telling the Gentiles, because some of y'all don't believe Gentiles could be saved. You could have been telling the Gentiles, you know what? Y'all better repent, because guess what? Y'all going into captivity. Look at what's happening right now. All of this stuff. All of the stuff we told you was going to happen is happening now. And guess what? Gentiles are going to pay us reparations regardless of whether or not they want to. But guess what? A lot of them think they're going into the kingdom. But they hate them some black folks. I'm just saying you can't think you're going into the kingdom and hate some black folks. Now,
well, too, they say color don't matter, but at the same time, those very same people would never accept a black Messiah.
Exactly. And see, this is the deception. And here's the thing. Deception ain't just in the Israelite camps, right? Deception is in the Gentile churches and everywhere else, right? But here's the thing. Everybody got to make a decision of what tree they going to eat from. The tree of life or the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. You got a choice whether or not you want to deny the divinity of the Messiah or his virgin birth. You got a choice to be deceived or not deceived. You just like you had a choice to take a lollipop or not. Just like when all of this stuff gets worse and your children can't eat and you can't work and you don't have a home, and they're gonna say, guess what? Come get your universal basic income. But here's your little chip implant.
So, Minister Yacoba, I want to put this challenge out there right quick based on what you said. I want you guys who follow these other mores and pastors, I want you to have them address every doctrinal point that we've made, proving the Messiah deity. I want them to do a teaching on every single jot and tittle point that we made and tear it down. Don't just say who is the Messiah talking to. That's not gonna fly. That's not gonna fly. What does the scripture say? Make your mores and passes. I don't care who you think, whether you think they of Yah or not. Make them back it up, because what Minister Jacob and I is going to do, we grab all the scriptures that we can find that show the deity and anything that conflicts with that, and we try to harmonize it and come to a conclusion. So if they can't deal with those passages, don't come around telling me Yeshua is an angel to try to dodge the question. Make them deal with the scriptures. Make them deal with it precept upon precept, right? Here a little, there a little, bringing down to a final conclusion. Don't let them get away with posting a single verse on the screen and then teaching their opinion the whole time around the rest of the day. Make them put up or shut up.
They'll take one little word and make a whole doctrine off of a word. Oh, well, the original Greek or the original Hebrew says this. So therefore, Yeshua is not the Father. He's not the Father. Okay, well, what about all the other 20 other scriptures that says him and the Father are the same? Well, they're one in purpose. Well, if you see me, you seen the Father. Well, he's one in purpose. What? Well, guess what? God, hold on. God don't give his glory to nobody else, but he gives his glory to his son. I'm just saying, y'all go ahead, Mr. T.
Yeah, I'm just saying they make these drive-by statements and never back it up. I'm like, okay, that's your opinion. Now give me proof. And this is where they stop, right? They never give you proof about their opinion. They give you their interpretation and say, well, this is what it means. It don't mean what they said, and don't bring no receipts. I'm like, how are you a teacher and you don't bring receipts for every single thing you're teaching? Don't put no single verse up there and build a false narrative. Bring everything that's in the Bible and then say, based on this information that I have, this is my conclusion. This is how I got there. Don't be up here trying to manipulate the Hebrew when you don't even speak Hebrew and tell everybody you speak Hebrew. I'm sorry.
So let me try to get through these videos right quick so we can end this thing, because guess what? I'm going to say this, and it is what it is. Just like a lot of people ate the lollipop, a lot of people going to do this, right? And it's near. I'm telling you, this we are in the end times. We are in the book of Revelation, and a lot of people ain't here, and a lot of people ain't going to be here, and it's going to get worse, as Brother Mike would say. It's going to get worse, right, Brother Mike?
Off the top. I mean, I think we're at that point. I think we got into it.
Yeah, let me share this video, and I get y'all comments.
Martha's Vineyard.
Right. Also, singer Tori Kelly has been trending because hospitalized for blood clots in her lungs, healthy in her 20s, young girl. And also the Biden's dog keeps biting Secret Service members.
Yeah. If this was, 6 people now to the hospital because of this. Anyway, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this, though. Here's a question. Would you let someone implant a microchip into your hand if you would receive $2,000 a month? A month in return for getting a chip put in your hand? You heard me right. We'll give you universal basic income, basically, 2,000 euros, $2,000 a month, if you allow us to put a microchip in your hand. That's exactly what's about to happen as part of the rollout of the central bank digital currencies. That's a carrot for them to rope you into this mess. We'll get to that part of the story in a minute, the chip implantation process, not the corn chip, as Dan said in our chat, but a actual metallic tracking chip. But a new report just published this week by the Bank for International Settlements explains how our new digital money system is about to work. We've been warning you that this was coming for a long time on this show. Also, we weren't the only ones predicting this. It was predicted in a little book, you might have heard of it, called The Bible, The Mark of the Beast. For one thing, this is how this new system would operate. According to them, the Bank for International Settlements, the new reserve currency, forget the dollar as you know it, basically. This will be the new reserve currency, which is how they want to label it and how they are labeling it. This would be used to settle all transactions. As everyone moves away from the US dollar right now, this seems like perfect timing to be moving to this new system. So are they purposefully torpedoing the US dollar? in preparation for a global new reserve currency. One might wonder, right? We don't believe in conspiracy theories around here, but you have to wonder. It could include the confiscation of all property, physical property. By assigning it, every item would receive a real world. Every real world item would receive its own unique digital token. So, what do you guys think about this? Right, this idea that they could. I'm not saying they're going to, but your car, your house, all of these sort of physical items that need a token process, you have to get them digitally tokenized in order for you to claim ownership of these items. No more selling cars without a digital token, right? No black market of selling cars. They all have to be tokenized. They all have to have a digital tracking ID to know exactly who owns them through this, what they call this transparent process.
So didn't I tell y'all? I told y'all that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna tokenize everything. Go watch all the videos. Y'all need to go over there to Odyssey on that channel because that's where all of the videos are. The ones that couldn't be shown on this platform and others, right? And so it is what it is now. Revelation 3:10 says, "Since you kept my command to endure patiently, I will also keep you from the hour of trial that is going to come on the whole world to test the inhabitants of the earth." What is this test? What do you think the test is that's to test the whole earth? It's the mark of the beast. It's the chip implant, right? And based upon what happened over the last 3 years, guess what? A lot of y'all gonna fail. Because guess what? When you see people, having issues on the streets, you're gonna get scared and you're gonna say, "Give me my mark." We are here. Where it's not coming, we are here. And Revelation chapter 6 is happening on many fronts. Now, the question is, what are you gonna do about it? You're gonna go along and get along? What are you gonna do about it? That's the question. Because we're living in these times and it's happening just as prophesied. Now, as we stated before, right? We have people who are already on the continent. Now, granted, I can't go to the continent, right? I can't go right now, but I pray every single day that the Most High steps in, because if we're not, I told you, if we don't get out of here, we're not getting out of here.
Family, we are journeying with us. Family of 7.
Shout out to Journey with us.
And we are digital nomads.
Right,
Okay?
Bones, project members.
So, in this video, we're going to be talking about something that we've been noticing, right? What have you been noticing?
Yes, I've been reflecting a lot since 2020, because 2020 is when we left Columbus, Ohio. Really, we were making our plan in 2019, December of 2019, to leave. The passports were on hold because the lockdown, all that stuff. But you can learn about that in another video on the channel. But anyway, I was comparing when we left in 2020 to now traveling across East Africa. And I've noticed that in the past 3 to 4 years, there are a lot of entrepreneurs who have the ability. They are either doing business in Africa, usually it's Ghana or Nigeria or Zanzibar. And then on the flip side of that, these are like African diaspora. Then on the flip side of that, we also have a lot of European or white Americans that are leaving America, namely California, Florida, New York, and Ohio. I don't know why these specific states, but they're leaving these places in herds to go travel to Portugal, back to the villages that they have in Italy and Portugal, and even some of like the Asian islands. This is something that has exploded just in the past 4 years, and it's almost prophetic. What do you think?
Yeah, people are just getting sick of just the West, just inflation, just everything that is starting to be right in your face. They just want to leave it alone.
Yeah.
And we kind of we noticed it in 2018, 2019.
Yeah.
So we decided that, hey, this is something that we're gonna do for sure, and make sure our family be okay, because that's the most important thing at the end of the day, is just make sure your children will be okay when you're not here. So yeah, I definitely noticed a lot of people coming back home too. even Africans that move to America,
Right.
they come back to Africa to build, to start
That's true.
their inheritance for their family. So this is something to think about really in 2025, because I'm not sure how this year is going to be. Like, I don't know how this year is going to be.
All right, so we know, and we talked about this in the past, that Gentiles are leaving the country now. Also, as Journey with Us was saying, some of the people are returning back home. I'm just saying, is this partial fulfillment of Jeremiah 51, where people are leaving and going back to the place they were come from? And so, we have all of these prophecies that seem to be lining up, right? And finally, let me get through this one thing, and we're gonna get final comments after this, right? So everybody trying to get to Africa, everybody trying to leave Babylon, and I'm just saying, it's look like a duck, quack like a duck. So here it says in Davos, African nations want to tell a different story. From South Africa to Rwanda to Nigeria, African countries put on a show of force at the World Economic Forum this week, seeking to transform their image by grabbing private investment rather than development aid. This year in Davos, there were no panels on development aid, and African policymakers at the Swiss Alpine Resort instead discussed free trade, investment, and the energy transition. With the fastest growing population of young people in the world, African officials and business people believe the continent provides an unparalleled opportunity for investors. There is the story of all of these challenges and risks, but there is also a formidable story of the amazing investment opportunities that the continent offers, said Marie-Laure Akin Olugbade, a senior executive at the African Development Bank. We think that we need to tell the story, she said, speaking during an event at the summit that gathers business and political elites. Telling the story about what the continent offers is already a very good step in getting the private sector to crowd in, Akin Olugbade added. Her enthusiasm was shared by others. We are in a position to really take advantage of the digital revolution in the world, Kashim Shettima, Nigeria's vice president, said during a discussion about a project of the Pan-African Free Trade. So y'all could go read the rest of that. So now they're trying to get investors, right? And they're going to be getting a lot of investors on the continent. We told y'all that, right? We told you. And a lot of these people are going to be a part of the global system, right? They're going to be a part of the beast system. But according to the scriptures, the 10 toes are going to be partly strong and partly weak. And that's where I believe we come in, where we'll be on the continent and they won't really control us. They'll be doing business with us and getting resources. But the rest of the world is going to be under that Luciferic system. And so right now, you see it's all tied to the digital revolution. So they have this digital revolution going on. And, it seems to me that a lot of the people in Africa, the leadership, they're doing things, right, to further themselves. But, like South Africa going to The Hague to fight for the Palestinians, which, well and good. But it strikes me, interesting that, hey, nobody went to The Hague for us. They shoot us in the streets. Ain't nobody going to The Hague for us. Nobody's suing these governments when they do stuff to us, discriminate against us, redline us, right? I'm just saying, but guess what? Those people who are the same bloodline as us, right? I know some of the camps don't agree with that, but who are even though they try to build their doctrine off of the fact that, hey, Israelites from Africa. But anyway, they're not going to The Hague to fight for us. Now, I sort of understand sometimes when they, some of the people are about foundational Black America, because we sort of by ourselves, right? But at the same time, there is an awakening and there is an alignment with those who are, African Israelites, let's say, right? There is an awakening there and I believe a drawing of unity, but their leadership trying to go along with the system, trying to go with the mark of the beast, trying to go along with what's the name of that thing, that world digital tracking thing where they scan their eyes and they get a token, right? Africa trying to do all this foolishness just like they did with the lollipop, right? So it's like, personally, I sort of don't want to go right now to the Most High fix stuff, because the way it is right now, I'd probably just get in trouble and get sent back here. I'd be like, what you doing? So I don't think temperament wise that I'm ready, but I pray that the Most High intervene. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Brother Karras and get some comment from him. Then we're gonna work on final comments. Brother Karras.
Hey, Shabbat Shalom, brothers. Teyu and Yakoba, it's great to hear from you all that you're doing better. We were praying for you all in terms of making sure that whatever the sickness that has been going around, is that it doesn't affect our people. So, did you all see the comment in the private chat?
Let me see. You want me to read it?
I wanted to see if that was okay with
Yeah,
you
yeah.
all.
Go ahead.
Okay. So, coming on up on Sunday, March 31st, 2024 at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Quest Unite Africa will be hosting the Invest in Africa seminar. This seminar is going to focus on East Africa, and we're excited to provide opportunities with panel members that will include lawyers that we have, CPA, and we're getting other professionals that are there that will be able to help you navigate a lot of these complications that people experience making the move to the continent. And also, we have our dignitary, and we'll have a couple of more booked. We're just waiting some confirmations, but that is with the Tanzanian government, on behalf of the Tanzanian government, through our managing director, our associate with Quest Unite Africa's Logistics Tanzania, Honorable Sebastian Kapufi, member of parliament. And so these are a lot of the discussions that we do in the background for Quest Unite Africa, because we want to ensure that our brothers and sisters understand how to move with all the information that they can at their fingertips. So we're excited to bring that and have that at your fingertips. Now the thing is that because there is going to be a lot of information, it is going to be $50 to sign up for the seminar. It is a registration fee of $50, but that also provides the linkages needed for the facilitation of who you'll have there on the panel and how to get a hold of them to be able to make the next steps. So I'd encourage everyone to go visit Quest to Unite Africa with the K.org. And, Yakoba, Teyu, I definitely appreciate that. And, we're going to be excited to give you some updates that's going to be happening down the line, because we are really talking to some very influential folks, and they have been very receptive of what we're doing. So, continue to pray for us, family, that we get the favor, because this is something that is that's going to be extremely beneficial, especially in these times.
All right. Thank you, Brother Karras. All right. So final comments, Misfit Feet.
Yeah, so basically just to echo off of what you showed with firstly, I just wanted to acknowledge the Journey with Us channel. Sorry about that. I actually work with them right now, specifically with the wife, Tiffany. She has an email business that or a course that she teaches. So those of you that are in the writing industry, I highly recommend linking up with her. She does courses every 3 months, I believe. It just depends on when she's available, but it's really beneficial for those that are trying to leave the workforce, or not really trying to depend on a 9 to 5, and also those that are looking to that can go to Africa. Her and her husband, they both teach a course where they teach you step by step on how to take each step to get to Africa. But getting back to what was discussed earlier, as far as the chip, nobody over here is getting chips. I mean, in this household at least, because we already knew, biblically speaking, we have a background in church, of course. It seems like most of us do, that we were taught that was anything that they're telling you, okay, in order to get this, you have to get this, would typically sound something like the mark of the beast. So there won't be any chip receiving on this end. And I strongly encourage that people listen, look out for, any tricks or things that they say, oh, well, you can get this and not have to get the chip, and you end up getting it anyway. These people, they have tricks up their sleeve. They're of Satan, so I wouldn't trust anything. And that's all I have.
All right. Thank you for coming on, Miss Fit Feet. Mark B, final comment.
Yes, I agree with Ms. Fitfee as well. The mark is something that we just need to know, that anything that we desire of normal life, it will be required to accept it if we want to continue to, be a part of what we consider normal in this country. So just be mindful and, continue to pray and learn. And, we just have to endure.
All right. Thank you, Mark B. Lady J, final comment.
Yeah. I never really thought that I'd be alive during these last days, because I always thought I was only going to live up until I was 30. But here I am. And the encouragement that I take for myself and for everyone that's listening is that we truly have to have the purpose in our hearts, like Daniel and the 3 Hebrew boys, that they refused to eat from the king's table. And we're coming to the point where you better know what God you're worshiping, and you better know that your only help and strength through all of this is Yeshua HaMashiach. Because if you have not established a relationship with him, you better repent and get going on it. And, we're living in amazing times right now when we're seeing the hand of God moving. And, just look to the Most High living God and Yeshua, and do not take that mark. And I'll land it there. And thank you for having me on. And, I just want to say that, we have to learn to love each other. And I just want to say I love all of you. And thank you.
Thank you. We love you too, Sister Lady J. Thanks for coming on. Alexander, final comment.
How you doing, Brother Jacoba?
All right.
First of all, Brother Jacoba, I've been trying to reach out to you for a minute here. I'm a heating and air man. And one time, I believe I came to your house to do some heating and air work.
Who, me? In Texas?
Oh no. Well, that must not be you, but be you, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, but you sound just like the brother. You know what I'm saying? That I went out to the brother's house and did some heating and air work. You know what I'm saying? And we had a good conversation. But you not him. But I just want to piggyback off what Lady J said. you know, see people, everybody thinking, you know what I'm saying, it's gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we're not gonna go through no struggle. You know, like the lady said, man, we need to make sure, you know what I'm saying, that we got our hearts right, because the trouble is coming, you know, and the race is not given to the swift nor to the strong, but until the one that endured to the end. See, you know what I'm saying? We just got to endure, brother. You
Oh
feel?
yeah.
That's the, you know, and you know what I'm saying? People think, you know, ain't nothing going, they thinking, oh, we gonna run to Africa, you know what I'm saying? Everything gonna be better. We're gonna get our economy going. No, brother. God said, don't brother Jacob, you probably can help me out with where this script at. But he said, don't try to set this kingdom up. Prepare yourself for the kingdom to come.
Yep.
And you know, that's what, you know, we need to focus on. You know what I'm saying? We don't need to focus on trying to run to Africa. Cause you, brother Kobe, I watch your show, and you said God gonna gather us from the four corners of the earth. We're gonna be gathered by the Most High, and you know, so don't stretch yourself out. You know what I'm saying? Just keep doing the work, and stay focused, and don't lose faith, bro. That's all I got to say.
All right. Thank you, Alexander. All right, brother Mike. Final comment.
Yeah, brother. This reminds me of Job. Yah allowed Satan to inflict him, cause him a whole lot of pain and struggle. And he may be doing the same thing with us. He may leave that disability within us just for us to build up that endurance. And at the same time, but he did tell Satan, hey, you better not kill him. You can do whatever you want to do to him, to Job, but you bet not kill him. Hashatan knew exactly how far he can go with Job. He knew good and well, all right, he told me I can't kill him, so I'm not going to kill him, but I'm going to do any and everything against him. And it's happening. We got, brother, I just lost a brother last week, earlier part of last week. Just lost him. And this is the stuff that weighs on us. And especially if that person is in that age rank where you are at, it becomes, it weighs on you. It weighs on you. And that's the thing we will have to look at. We got to continue to press on. I mean, this walking around in fear and having panic attacks, ain't nobody trying to do all that. We did that already. I mean, if we're going to drop, so be it. Let me drop in Yah's memory. He is the Elohim of the living, not of the dead. Because we're living now. And we may fall asleep in death. But in his eyes, we are living, because he knows I'm going to resurrect my loyal servant. He knows these things. And I'm looking at the stuff that we're going through. And bro, I'm talking to brothers and sisters, Jacob, over there in Africa right now, just yesterday. These brothers and sisters saying they getting malaria like 4 and 5 times in a matter of 3 months. 3 months. So what's going on over there? We got sickness here. It's like Israel is up under attack also.
Yeah.
And that's what I mean, maybe it must be me. Maybe I could be reading a tad bit too far. It could be that. But when you, your brother, and other brothers I know saying the same thing, nah, we ain't all gonna be on the same total pole like that. I'm sorry. Yeah. We're not. And I'm just, and it's like,
and Mike,
I know,
you know, you know, you and I about close to the same age. This ain't never happened when we were growing up, right? You ain't never saw this type of thing.
Never seen this, bro. Never seen this. I just turned 56 in November, the 3rd of November. Never seen it. The brother that brother had a massive heart attack. 56 years old. Been knowing him for years. Good brother. He worked out. But guess what happened? He had a blood clot. He ate the
and
so that's the thing I think he did do. Yes. Now that's one thing he did do. He did. And like the other brother, the one with the pacemaker. And with him, now his brother, he did it too. He didn't survive. He had the same thing at work. In his work truck, and it took him on out of here. It's just it's like blood clot is top dog right now. It's like it's top dog. And so the doctor was telling me, she said, Mr. Mike, you come in, you done lost like 30 pounds since you've been coming to me. You doing everything you're supposed to do. She said, but I'm gonna tell you this. Get you some compression socks when you're working out. Oh, like I didn't know what she was talking about, truthfully, and things of that nature. I started doing research, and they said, hey, it helps out with a great deal of blood clots and things. And so I did that, and it's been working with me pretty good and things of that nature. But these are the things we're contended with. And so, yes, it was concerning because Caris was talking about when you had posted it, and I was like, man, no, we need to talk about this, brother, because Jacobo post up there, I'm going through the same thing, and I just don't believe we're going to be having the same issues. And this stuff, it was just working my nerves, bro, because I don't see everybody having the same issue, near about the same issues, and everything always boiled down to high blood pressure. You thinking you doing what you're supposed to do, and your blood pressure still is high. The doctors always say, "Oh, you need to work out, cut down on pork, all this other stuff." Bro, I fast near about every day, drink water throughout the day, and I still have an issue. Now that's stuff that it stays on my mind. But I'm like, tell you, it gets to a point. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not gonna sit up here and worry about it. If I drop, I drop. And I keep it moving.
It's
that's where I'm at, bro.
I asked the Most High. I said, if it's His will, I'd prefer not to go. Struggling with dialysis and pacemakers, and if I gotta go, let it be quick. You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with that.
Yeah, I don't want to be straggling. It's sort of like the cowboys. Hey, I can make this quick, or I can make it slow. Which way you want it? Make it quick.
Yeah, I understand that, bro. But that's all I had to say. And I just wish all the brothers and sisters, to be safe and do what we're supposed to do and things. We know what's happening.
Yeah. We
know that we are up under attack, and we need to just keep on encouraging one another, staying in contact and doing what we're supposed to do.
Yeah.
And I hand that back to you, bro. Yes. Exactly.
All right. Thank you, Brother Mike.
You're welcome.
Brother Karis, final comment.
Jacoba, I don't know if you and Tayu weren't going to come on, I probably was going to come on because there's a lot of things that's going on right now. And, boy, you hit a lot of it. I want to kind of address what you had said about South Africa. And, it was for the Palestinians. However, when you're playing a game of chess, you have to position things on the chessboard in order to take down the king. And I look at that as this is the biggest move on that chessboard, because really you just started with that pawn going on out. Now, I believe the objective will really lead to us, because I don't know if you had seen this, but this was covered either, I think, on Reuters or Al Jazeera. I had it yesterday with the Q2A discussions. But when Germany said that they were going to support those folks with, the ones being sued by South Africa, then here comes Namibia that came in and said, wait, hold up. Not so fast. Y'all remember what you done did to us. You see what I'm saying? So I think, to be honest, that is the dominoes that's going to start to fall. And at the end, I believe that that's going to affect us the most. Right? And so to me, that's what I see happening. A lot of things are happening. I mean, you tell me. It looks like it's happening so fast that it's like every time I wake up, it's like what done happened after the 7 hours I had slept. Is the sky purple? Or you know what I'm saying? Oh man, it's starting to
Well, you
get
got
there.
the aliens showing up too now.
Yeah, they're down in Florida. Look. I told my dad, I said, I can't be going down there to visit you now since ET wants to show up. No.
Look, brother Karras, there's actually no delay. It's just the media that's slow right now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. And so, there's a couple of things that we're trying to put together in terms of the news channel, because the news is information. Information is warfare. If you don't have news, guess what? They're committing warfare against you, and that is literally, that's part of that buildup. So if you don't have it, and if they're trying to delay it, and now with everything that they're trying to do, with everything that they're labeling as, could be harmful or yada yada, I told you they're coming to shut down our channels. So pray for us, family. Because now the time is here. Because why? Because they can't hide anymore. Yeah. What did they say? NATO was saying, 20 years, then 5 years. Man, I don't know about 5 months.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, stop playing, But with that's all I got to say, family. So Shabbat Shalom. Thank you, Taya and Yakoba.
All right. Thanks, Brother Kara. Minister Taya.
Yeah, all I want to say is start to ask your family members if they know of anyone that's has strange illnesses, that are sick, because out of this conversation I had even this morning with my daughter, I found out something new. Right, one of her friends just graduated college, in his 20s. His eyesight went away. He lost his eyesight, and they don't know why. Right, and you can only wonder. I would assume it's the lollipop, because it's known for these various types of things, right? But you'll be surprised what you start finding out just by asking questions. Just, hey, have you heard of anyone getting sick or anyone having a strange illness? And you'll probably find out, hey, there's more people than you thought in your circle fighting things. That's all I have.
All right. So, fam, here's what we need to do. We all need to fast and pray right now. I'm not setting a time limit for it, right? As the Most High lead you, fast and pray. How long you want to fast and pray? If you can fast and pray, because everybody can't. Some people have health issues, right? But we need the Most High. We need Him yesterday. And, I kept telling y'all, I said, something's off in the spirit. I told y'all something is wrong. And it's here, right? It's here. The devil is here. If you can't see that, if you can't feel it, then maybe you're not the Most High. You don't belong to the Most High, because this, how they say something wicked this way come? No, it is here. It is literally here. And so we need to fast. We need to pray. We need to seek the Most High. If you're living in sin, you need to repent. Gentiles, you need to repent for the sins of your ancestors, right? You need to repent for how y'all think of us, how y'all treat us, how y'all ignore our history, how y'all delete us, right? y'all need to give us reparations and send us home. But I know y'all not gonna listen, but I'm just telling you what you need to do, because right now everybody's getting hit, right? Everybody's suffering equally, but guess what? It's gonna hit y'all harder than us. I know you don't believe it, right? Because you say you're a Christian, right? But maybe you need to reevaluate your understanding of the scriptures. Maybe your Eurocentric doctrine is incorrect. Maybe the doctrine that the urban apologists tout is not biblical, right? So you got to understand this, that we are in trying times, and this whole thing is going to get worse. Can you imagine it? I mean, worse, really? I sort of knew, I knew these times were going to come, and I knew it was going to be hard, but, I don't know. It's like, we all in the midst together, right? We're all in the middle of this thing together. We need to pray for one another, help one another, and we really do need the Most High. Now for me, I don't adhere to just my opinion, not to put no aspersions on anyone, but I don't really believe in modern day prophets and prophetesses, right? I don't. Now, maybe over time I could be proven wrong. I wish we did have some. But I just don't know about that. But we do need the Most High, right? And here's the thing. Y'all know ain't nobody like us. And as things get worse and the food start being rationed and they put you in the digital system, guess who's going to be out first? Guess who's going to be suffering first? Us. Guess who their projects and their programs going to be against? Us. Right? They bring all these immigrants in, and where they bring them? To Chicago. Where? To the black neighborhoods. I'm telling you, did I not tell you? Did I not? Let me repeat. Did I not tell you they're going to push us out? I'm just saying. And if you haven't awakened to the problems and the trials and the tribulations that we're in right now, you ain't going to wake up. I told you, we ain't got much time left. A lot of people ain't here no more. Their time is over. Some of us may not be here. I hope to make it to the land with you. I don't know if I will. Because they're hitting us hard. They're hitting us hard. We're in a warfare. These arrogant Luciferians are hitting us hard. And not only are they hitting us hard, they're corrupting our children, right? They're making men, limp-wristed. They're making all kind of stuff. They got women who don't know their place, men who don't know their place, men who don't know how to be the lead, women who don't know how to be led. I know some of y'all ain't gonna like that. The man's the head of the woman the head of the children. That's Bible. But we don't know that no more. There's no structure. There's no order. Everything's confusion. Our homes are broken. It's crazy. Your children don't even like people who look like them anymore. They marry the oppressor. They're not even attracted to people who from their own line, who look like them. What sense that make? We are messed up people. And I ain't never heard of guys growing up who can easily become, that essayed by other men. I ain't never heard that. That only happened in prison. Now it's happening out of prison. It's awful. Don't tell me the devil ain't let loose. Don't tell me the devil ain't trying to take out humanity. Don't tell me we not in the last days, because we are. And guess what? A lot of you people who don't know the Most High, both Jew and Gentile, y'all about to get attacked by them UFOs, them aliens they all talk about. I told you I did a show on it. Y'all about to get attacked by them beings coming out of the abyss who don't have the seal of the Holy Spirit on them. Y'all about to find out that it can get worse, much worse. That what you see right now is the beginning of sorrows. Can you imagine? This is the beginning of sorrows. Well, tell ministries teaching fear doctrine. Guess what? It don't matter whether or not you consider it fear doctrine. It's here. And people are being deleted, and people aren't here anymore. And there's nothing you can do about it but repent and ask the Most High to help. That's it. You can't run away from it. You can't hide in the jungles. If the Most High don't come and save us, we're not going to be saved. That's all I got to say. Love y'all. Really do love y'all. Peace and blessings, Israel. Your captivity is ending. And if you want to become a member, you can by becoming a patron. You also can give at Cash App, $TEOTW 7101. You can also go to giftgivingforall.com and buy a mug, buy a hoodie, shirt, all that. Love y'all, fam. Hopefully I see y'all in the land. If not, see y'all in the kingdom.